Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project that we're going to do is I just got, we're going to play with a die. And this is a quilt block die. I just got this in I ordered it from Made It, and I just got it in yesterday. And I was playing with it last night, and I thought maybe it'd be fun to show it to you guys, and we can do a little more playing, and you know, maybe you'll discover something new that you like, or maybe you have one and you haven't played with it yet. And this is a Gina Marie Designs one. I don't know what, let's see, it's Quilt number 3 die by Gina Marie, and it was $10, and I got it on maymaymadeit.com. And I will put some stuff together, and then I'll show you what I played with last night and how I ended up using what we built. And what I like about this is I'm a puzzle person. I really like puzzles, and that's what this felt like to me. So I want to show you kind of my desk. I'm going to pull you off my tripod here so I can show you my desk and what I've done. So what I did was I picked some pattern papers, and I picked some solid papers, and I ran the die through my Cuttlebug. And so what I did was I cut out 10 different papers out of the die. I've already glued these down. I'll show those to you. So what you end up with is the outline and then all of the little pieces. Okay, so let me grab this real quick. So you end up with the outline and then all the little quilt pieces. Okay, now what I discovered just for myself last night as I was playing with this, I'm going to put you back on my little thing here. As I was playing with this last night, I discovered that I prefer the solid outline. The printed ones are really pretty, but when filled in with the prints, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't as far as the look of it. So what I did was I ran the die through my Cuttlebug 5 times for solids and 5 times for prints. So what I plan on doing is filling my solid outlines with the printed pieces, and I'm gonna fill my printed outline with my solid pieces, and I'm gonna just see how that turns out. So that's what I've done to prep. I also have bases that I cut so that this can lay on a base so we can glue our pieces to something. These bases are 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. I've already done bases for my other ones and glued them down for these solid ones. And we'll do one on camera. So just to recap, I ran the die through my Cuttlebug 10 times, 5 solids and 5 prints. And I've got all the little pieces in piles here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and glue down the outer frame to my base. Now you can, and you'll have to excuse my hand shaking. You guys know that I get the shakes when I craft, especially with detail stuff. You can just kind of put glue in specific spots, but I'm a little more detailed than that, and what I'm gonna do is just take my the fine tip applicator on my glue, and I'm just gonna run it down all of the pieces of the frame. And it doesn't take long to do this. It is probably the most tedious part of this project, is getting this frame kind of glued down. But once you get the hang of it and of the design, it goes pretty fast. the fun of putting these together and seeing what the design comes out looking like is really, it's worth it. And I want to make sure that my whole frame is glued down and that I don't have any parts of it popping up. But like I said, if you want to just put glue in some more just like strategic spots, you can do that as well. Okay, so I have glue all over my frame, and I'm just gonna line this up on my base, and I'm gonna stick it down. Okay. And anywhere, if you're using our glitter glue, anywhere that you've gotten glue, that will dry clear. And you can see I have a little overhang here, but that's okay. Once I'm done with it, I'll just trim that off. No big deal. Okay, so what I did when deciding how many different papers I wanted, I looked at the die. Let me get my little pointer here. I looked at the die and I saw that I had, let me take this out so it's not glaring. And I saw that I have this outer layer with the triangle corners, so that's one. And then I have these diamond pieces, that's two. And then I have the square pieces, that's three. And then the inner diamond pieces, that's four. And then the frame is five. And that's how I got that number. You don't have to use that many. You can alternate, like print solid print, and then the frame be a solid. You can do whatever you want, but this is just what I chose to do. So that's where I got the number 5 from. So I have out here, let me see if all of these piles are in frame. They are. I have, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna decide what I want my middle to look like. And I think what I want is this flower print here. So all I'm gonna do is take my glue and lay it in that first little hole. And I'm just gonna glue my print down. And I'll just grab from that pile. And this goes actually really fast once you start filling all the pieces in. And I like this because it's like putting a puzzle together. And then also like designing it too, because you're choosing where you want your prints to go. So you're deciding how you want it to look. And I just think that's really neat because I tell you, we have some gorgeous papers in our stashes, and to make something like this from those pretty papers, it's just, it really pays off. And I'll show you what I did with these when we're done here putting this together. I made some of them into cards. And then I made some of them into journaling cards for my junk journals. And oh, they turned out so pretty. So pretty. So you can take something, if you're a junk journaler, you can take something that is kind of, what I would say kind of mainstream crafting, like that you use to make cards out of or whatever. And, you know, you can use it and turn it into something that you can use in your junk journals. And I like to do that because I feel like I get a full experience from my crafting supplies. Okay, so we've got our middle done. Does that look cute? Okay, so now I think what I want is I'm going to pull this blue in right here, and I think I'm going to use this lacy, this blue kind of lacy one that I have here, and I'm going to use it in the corners. So let's see how that looks. And it's neat to use double-sided papers too, because if you feel like the main print isn't really working, you can turn it over and see what's on the other side. And, you know, maybe that will work better for what the design you have going. And like I said, if you get glue on the outside, it's okay. That I would say definitely use a glue that's going to dry clear. I'm using art glitter glue, and that definitely does dry clear. So if I get it kind of up on my frame, I know I don't have to worry about it. It's not going to look bad because it's going to dry clear. Okay, that's really pretty. Okay, and then I have this kind of green damask print. Now what I think I'm going to do is turn it over and use the pink side, because I think that's going to be better. And I think I'm going to use it on the squares right here. Because it kind of looks almost like a solid. And I'll tell you why, because I've got this stripe one over here that I know that I want to use up here. So, and it looks very similar to this, so I want to separate it with the pink. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's glue down our pink squares. Okay, this is so fun, and because the frame is kind of lifted up and it is dimensional, once you lay it down on that base, the pieces just fit right in there and they just slide right in. And there's no, you won't have any trouble getting those to fit in there because they're absolutely perfect fit. Okay, a few more. Grab those other squares out of the pile here. This is so fun, and I want to get myself more of them. I just thought it was so fun. Let's see, I should have 2 more squares in this pile. Here's one, here's the other one. It's buried under here. There's one, and the last one. Oh, that's looking so cute. Look at that. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my 8 little stripy diamonds out of this pile. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm gonna use the striped side. And we'll start filling in these last little blocks. Oh, that's so cute. And you can do so much with these little squares. Like I said, I used them on greeting cards and journaling cards for my junk journals. But you could use them as embellishments on the front of books or journals. Really, it's endless. Anything you would decorate like with a quilt block, you could use this with. And I love how it pulls that red. It's got that little bit of red, so that's going to look really good on this base, the red base. And so if you cut 5 different patterns, right here I have 4 prints and a solid. Okay, so 5 of those. It's gonna make 5 blocks for you, because you'll have all those other pieces left over. So you'll get a total of however many you decide to use, like if you decide to use only 2 different colors, it'll make you 2 quilt blocks. Okay, and here's the last one. And then I'll hold it up so you can see it closer. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love those prints together. Look at that. Okay, let me take my scissors. I'm gonna just trim off the excess on this one side just because it's bugging me. I've got a little corner here. So just trim that off. I trim off a little more than I should have, but that's okay. All right, and that's what we have. Super cute, right? Okay, so that's what we have, and I'll finish all these other ones I have on my desk. And at the beginning of our next video, I'll show them all to you, or I'll post them on social media so that you can see what they all ended up looking like. So that's really cute. So let me show you what I did with the ones that I did last night, and you'll be able to see what the printed frame looks like on those. So here's a journaling card that I did. This turned out super cute, even though it does have a print border. It was kind of like a wood grain, so almost acted like a solid. So here's the back, just paper bag on the back. And here's my other one. Really cute. Just embellished it a little bit more with some, with a little saying. And these are little fabric and button little fabric clusters that I made that I have a little stash of. So those are really cute. So those are the 2 journaling cards that I made. And then I made the other 3 that I did greeting cards. So this one was the one with the solid background frame on it. Really pretty. There's that one. And I just added a little sentiment onto a sentiment banner on a block of just a print that I had a scrap of, and put a flower on it and did a little hand, with a marker, did some stitching around it. And the last one. And then I put a little gem in the middle here. Thought that looked really cute. So that's what I made with them. And then here's the one we made today. Really cute. Give this a try if you don't have one of these quilt dies. And like I said, this was Gina Marie, and I found it at maymaimadeit.com. And she has several different designs on there too. If you have one in your stash and you haven't used it yet, give it a go. This was a really fun project. So I will sign off for now. And as always, you guys have a wonderful day, and God bless.